Once you've done that process, you can then go to Reconcile All Banks, which will then give you a full check of your bank position and give you a report so that you can see exactly what is happening with regards to your overall position. So pre-filtered today, but if you're going back and adding some information in, you can go back and run it for the month that you're in. And as we said, ideally you'll do this on a monthly basis. Even if you have started Scribe Lite midway through the year, we'd still recommend doing it on a monthly basis because it's much easier to pick up and make sure everything's working monthly than trying to do a 6 monthly reconciliation, for example. Because if you have a problem, you then have a lot of information to look back through to work out what has happened. So you would set the audit date to the same point as we've just cash date to as well. So that's what we're working to, our 30th of April. So then we can enter in our statement dates and balances. So on the 30th of April, how much did we have in each of these? If petty cash is a default in the system, but if you don't use petty cash, you can just leave it as blank. So the current account on the 30th of April, we've just been reconciling. So I can enter that figure accordingly. I don't have anything in other, but I do have something in my savings account. So I'm just going to put that value in as well. And what we're going to see then is if Scribe likes what we've put in. So the figures at the top in the white boxes are where we need to enter in the information that we are subjecting Scribe to check if it reconciles to. So these are our statement balances. So it's really important to remember that these are not Scribe generated figures and they are figures that we have entered in so that Scribe can check the position. The grey boxed out boxes at the bottom are then what Scribe has calculated. So it has looked at what we've got so far, any unticked items adjusted to make sure we've got a zero difference. So again, that's what we're looking for, to get an overall difference of zero, meaning that what we've reconciled is correct. So if I then save and next, it will run the report. So this is a nice report that you may want to take to your council meetings to show that everything is reconciled. You do get a prepared and approved by sign off at the top, so it can be formally signed off. The top section is the Scribe reconciliation in terms of our starting position, so our opening cash book figure, adding in our receipts, taking away any payments we've made, and then there is our current cash in hand figure compared to what we've got in our statements and checking out if A equals B. If it doesn't, it will give you the value of the error, and then you would need to go and find out what's gone wrong there and make sure that reconciliation balances. But if A equals B checks out okay, then what you've done in terms of the reconcile on Scribe is correct. It's also a good idea to check whether you have any unpresented items, so any unpresented payments or receipts will be listed here. So if you're not using checks, it's unlikely that you'd have anything unpresented because it really is only going to be checks that you have left as uncashed at this point. So to check this, you can go to filter up in the top right hand corner. The summary report is the one shown, but you can then select view the uncashed payments, which will then list it. So there I've got a transfer to my savings account. And if I have a look at my uncashed receipts, I've got, and again, interest on the savings account. So at the moment, I haven't actually reconciled my savings account for my April statement. I'm just still using the current opening April balance. So I need to go and update that. So it's also worth checking if you've got anything unpresented. If you think you've got some errors or some duplicates, make sure that you correct them so that you're not carrying unpresented items that are not correct to show on your summary. But once you are happy that you've got both A equals B checks out okay, and if you have got anything unpresented, they're correct to be there, you can then produce this report. So you can do that by going up and printing with the print icon, or you can also go to actions and select PDF or Excel to put it into either of them, and also create a share link if you want to. So if you copy that share link, you can then send this to anyone who'd be able to then open that report in a separate web page. We also strongly recommend that you save the report directly into Scribe as well. So if you click Save Report, the information that you've added in terms of the statement balances, etc., will be saved, and all the information that you had along with the reports. And then it will appear in the list. So it's good practice to have, at the end of the year, you'd have 12 of these, all with a zero difference, showing that each month you had reconciled it. That means if you ever need to go back and review anything, you can check what's happened so you can see what's gone on. So it's really good to have that information saved within Scribe.